How did Mikhail Gorbachev influence the division of Germany? Imagine a world where the walls that divide nations are not just physical barriers but symbols of ideological conflict. Mikhail Gorbachev emerged as a key figure in changing that narrative, especially concerning Germany. His leadership during the late 1980s played a vital role in the reunification of Germany, marking a significant shift in global dynamics after World War II. Gorbachev introduced reform policies known as openness and restructuring across the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe. These changes loosened Soviet control, allowing for political and economic transformations. As a result, East Germany began to experience a wave of public demonstrations demanding reform and freedom. This was a direct outcome of Gorbachev's less aggressive stance compared to previous Soviet leaders. By the late 1980s, the atmosphere in East Germany was charged with calls for change. Gorbachev's refusal to use military force to suppress these movements was essential. This decision paved the way for the peaceful fall of the Berlin Wall in November 1989. The wall's collapse was not just a moment in history, it symbolized the end of a divided Germany and the Cold War era. On the diplomatic front, Gorbachev engaged with Western leaders to discuss the terms of reunification. Initially, he was cautious about a unified Germany joining the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, fearing it might threaten Soviet security. However, in early 1990, he privately agreed to the reunification, seeking assurances that NATO troops would not be stationed in former East German territory. This compromise allowed the reunification process to move forward while addressing Soviet concerns. Throughout these negotiations, Gorbachev balanced the interests of the Soviet Union with the evolving realities in Eastern Europe. He treated a unified Germany as an equal member of NATO but insisted on conditions to limit NATO's military presence in the East. This approach was part of broader agreements that included reducing German military forces and recognizing post-war borders. Gorbachev's willingness to accept German reunification without military intervention marked a significant change from Cold War policies. His leadership transformed the division of Germany into a process of peaceful unification, ending decades of separation imposed after World War II. In practical terms, Gorbachev's influence meant that the legacy of a divided Germany was resolved through negotiation rather than conflict. His policies helped reshape Europe's political landscape and set the stage for a new era in international relations. From the perspective of World War II history discussions, Gorbachev's role illustrates how post-war divisions, created by wartime agreements and Cold War tensions, were ultimately resolved through political change and diplomacy. His actions highlight the long-term effects of the war's legacy on global restructuring and the eventual reunification of a nation once split by ideological conflict.